Gamer Dude 2088, and we're back once again for TOT 60 for the month of October 2018. Probably should have been saying that in all the videos. Alright, just like in 70, I'm really not going to go over the full everything for it, so we're probably going to have iCards and link in the description, all of that good stuff for the original video done back in August, so you can get the full guide. We're just gonna give you the basic rundown once again of like what my team does and how it affects this dungeon. So we're running the guide team here again, because these are one of the slow ones, but basically you're dealing with the revive chick, because we don't want to say bad words, do we, Gamer? Because we always say bad words. But the revive chick, her and then the Holy Sister crew, which we don't want any of them to move because then they do stuff that we don't like cleanse our debuffs and stop us. But this one was a little worrisome for me in regards of the resistance that you have to deal with, because they do tend to resist a lot. So having that resistance debuff that Luigi, the Earth Kabir, provides is definitely important, especially if you're not really rocking high accuracy, because I believe our accuracies on Herman and Luigi is pretty low. Mario's is decently high. I mean, 140, I mean, it's rare that I see him miss, but it does happen, especially on units that have high resistance off their base. So that is a thing, you know, dealing with that resistance. Going into this fight, I'm using the same basic strategy. Luigi goes first, set up everything. Then I believe Herman comes next to CC the ads. And if he doesn't get all of the CC, we got our 4 focus marks up, so Mario can come in and finish the CC if necessary. And if it's not necessary, then he places his first parasite on the boss. Then WHS go, cleanse everything up. If I did have to use Mario's third skill rather than his second, then WHS just attacks something instead of refreshing our cooldowns, because we only want to refresh to make sure Mario, our Fire Kabir, has his second skill back up again, because it only takes 2 turns, and then you get 2 turns off of the refresh, so he have it right back up. So that's 2 parasites in 2 turns, which is good. And then Fire Clops come in and add in the extra turns that's going to create the damage that we're going to need later on. But if you don't have Fire Clops, and you should have Fire Clops, because if you do, build them, because I mean, yes, he's like the best. But if you don't, then bring it in. George, the Air Bassy, is good for just the extra CC, but you got to make sure you're hitting that 100 crit. If you're not hitting 100 crit, then chances are you're going to miss some turns that you're going to need in order to make sure you CC in this boss properly, and the ads if necessary, because you don't want to miss that good stuff. And then the extra poisons, it doesn't, I mean, it's not bad. That helps too, you know, if he lands a poison, but just mostly you want that turn bar reset and steal, so he can continue to do his job as good as he can, if that is the unit that you have. Now, if you do have OP units that you can possibly use and bring into this fight, by all means, if you can replace somebody in this team with a unit that's more sufficient in the fight, then by all means do so. Just like, you know, bring it in, do what you gotta do. But if not, then don't be trying to bring all that extra garbage in. Just bring these units in, because I guarantee these units will do the job. And I'm talking about mostly the 2 stars that we're mentioning here, you know, Mario the Fire Kabir, Luigi the Earth Kabir, Herman the Water Bassy, George the Air Bassy. You don't need any better team, and the last 2 units are practically optional, long as you bring in something that can either reset the cooldowns, keep your team alive if the enemy does move, and hopefully you don't get one shot, because you don't want these guys to get touched because they're squishy. And then a second option for CC, for CCing your team just to make sure that you could, you know, keep the enemy at bay. Because when you look at it, Fireclops provides extra DPS as well as CC because he just goes off of what your team does. And then for the enemy having buffs and things like that, you also got Fireclops for that, but you don't necessarily need him for that because you do have the Earth Kabir, Luigi, to do that as well for you. So that's kind of like the things that you're going for into this fight. Like I said, if you're looking for more details on what everything does, if you don't know what these units do, definitely check out my other video, how to TOT 70 for the month of August of 2018. Yes. And I guess we can go over the units again. Why not? Because, you know, if you haven't seen the units and what their stats are, I can show you those again and again and again, because we're just going to keep doing it so everybody can see. Right. So we're gonna quickly go over this because this is getting really repetitive for me. But in the TOT 60, you're really not worried too much about speed per se. This is my fastest unit at 164, and I believe we generally outspeed for the most part. Like, let's look at if we can find, you know, okay, see. 152 here, 157 here. So the units that I expect to outspeed, though, they doing their job for the most part. And I think my slowest unit is Fireclops at 137. Don't recall if he outspeed or not, but if he does, well, that already says a lot of what on the speed side of things. Like, you really don't need too much for this fight. But as you get further into TOT, speed is definitely going to be critically important. But I think my stats is like decently okay. I mean, I put the best of what I have at least on my Kabir duel, Mario and Luigi. They got the best of the best for the most part, to make sure they're able to perform as decently as possible. So it's not too much. I guess I won't go super far in depth into, you know, everything that's going on, because you can watch some of the other TOT videos and definitely see it, especially my TOT God video. That one goes over everything, strategy, all of that stuff, like full on in depth and everything, and all of what I talk about in there, and how the team correlates and all that good stuff. So I mean, these is just the stats for people that might want to see the stats, and all that good stuff. For the most part, on each unit. And that's about it for this. And we got one more to go today. One more. I've been trying to pump them out. Yesterday I did 2. Today I'm doing 2, and then I'm done. And I'm gonna try to make sure I get these videos out a lot sooner come next month. I want to do a lot more testing and a lot more playing around in TOT. So I'm definitely going to focus a lot of content in that direction. So hopefully they don't give us like so many crazy events, because that's what really hits me hard. And then I get caught up with the events and then not able to really focus on TOT, especially when I got other things going on in my life, other avenues that I'm working on and everything. So it gets to be time consuming, and it's like, all right, I want a manual, I want to auto as much as I can, and when I got a manual, that means I need to sit down and really focus, and I might have something else going on, I might be wanting to do other things, you know, and it just be kind of difficult. But if you guys really enjoy this content, I mean, definitely let me know. I would do as much as I can to, you know, really help you guys out here. So definitely give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Man, I've been reaching out to some of you today and other things and like that on the MMEG Discord. So yeah, man, like really, you guys enjoy the way that I do this. We gonna go further and do more, and I know we need to get into TOT Nightmare, but I definitely want to master TOT Advanced before I really start trying to pump out Nightmare videos. Or I might just like do a mix of both as I go along, because we completed this rotation, so that means in December we got to do it again because we done it before. But for November we got to complete that rotation for the first time, so in January we can come back and complete it again, and then we need to do the same thing for Nightmare, and we'll be good to go from there. But outside of that, I mean, it's not really much else that I can say. I'm gonna play around with my units and do all kind of like crazy team builds and everything, and just make fun out of this, so I can give you guys some really exciting and cool content to work on. Because everybody just try to do it because it's a thing, but it's like, yo, man, there's so many ways that it can be done, so many avenues, so many team comps that I've seen, and so many of them that I have in my head and the things that I want to do. Really looking forward to building my curse team, because I just want to go through and just reset cooldowns, curse, boom, everything dies. That's kind of like the strategy. I want to do that, so I'm definitely going to work on that once the next glyph removal come back. So I'm probably going to work with my god team first and put out some more videos with those units, test around with the units I already got built, and once FGR come around, strip everybody and then put it on the units that I'm going to be using for the curse team. So until then, this is the Gamer Dude signing out. See you in the next TOT video. Deuces. All right.